Andy Benoit, basically said that this Alex Smith deal may go bad. Here's what he said to Chad Dukes just yesterday.
Because I think I see him a little differently in terms of what kind of down-the-field quarterback he is. He went down the field early in the season when Kansas City's offense was clicking on all cylinders, and they were getting a lot of man coverage, which really defines the read for a QB. When teams shifted back into zone coverage and now you're reading multiple defenders and trying to isolate windows and throw on schedule, Alex Smith reverted back into a lot of his old tendencies, and the offense dried up for a while. He didn't look good, and Kansas City, that's why they drafted Patrick Mahomes in the first place, because Alex Smith has had these issues throughout his career. So system QB, that doesn't mean they're the same QB, though. And what Cousins gave you that I don't think you're going to get from Alex Smith, and I think it's going to really drive Jay Gruden crazy after a while, is Cousins could throw with some anticipation, and he had a turn-it-loose mindset. He was willing to take the chances, so to speak. And in Gruden's scheme, with the way that's set up, you have to be a little bit more of an anticipation passer and a little bit more aggressive than you do if you're running Andy Reid's offense. And I don't think Alex Smith will meet those demands. So I really think this is – I mean, I don't want to ever forecast something negative like this for people. I think this is going to go very badly, though, Chad. I don't think Gruden's going to be happy with what they've got at QB come around October or November, where there are a lot of throws that will be getting left on the field.
Perfect segue to SAD HTTR.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he's right that Alex Smith's reputation and the numbers kind of belie it.
Do you have the game log? Did he stack a lot of chips early in the season?
This year?
Yes.
When they went through that swoon,
they got off to a great start.
Right. But did he struggle big time when they went through that swoon?
But I thought that was also Kareem Hunt.
Yes.
Kareem Hunt, to me, the running game really dried up.
Right. I'm going to go through the game log right here now.
From what I remember, he had a pretty good
I feel like he closed the season pretty strong.
He had a pretty good start, and then they lost 5 in a row or 5 out of 6. Remember that? And then he finished strong. And but a lot of it was because teams kind of caught up to what they were doing with Kareem Hunt. I'm sure they had injuries too. I mean, they didn't pay that much attention to it. But
so he said Alex Smith can thrive against man-to-man coverage, but against the zone, he's not as good.
5-0. They beat New England. They beat Philly. They beat the Chargers. They beat the Skins, and they beat Houston. They were 5-0. In those 5 games, he had 11 touchdowns, no picks. All right? 11 touchdowns, no picks in the first 5 games. And then they lost to Pittsburgh, lost to Oakland, beat Denver, lost to Dallas, lost to the Giants.
Yeah, but in some of those games he played poorly, right?
Lost to the Jets.
But in the Oakland game, he had 3 touchdowns. But the quarterback rating of 127.
Oakland game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played well.
Threw for 342 yards.
Yeah. But he was poo in the Denver game, even though they won. He was poo in the Giant game. He was terrible in that game. Threw a pick in the Dallas game.
He was great in the Jets game, even though they lost.
Yeah, he had
4 touchdowns, 366 yards.
Yep.
Quarterback rating 135.
Yep. So it was peaks and valleys, just like any quarterback. But he definitely started out strong, 5-0.
That's somebody who's looking at the film. Maybe he's not as good as Kirk Cousins in anticipation throws. I don't know the percentage of the offense that is anticipation throws in Jay Gruden's system.
I agree with Charlie, and Charlie said he thinks, it's a 3-step drop and that rip on those slant patterns and things like that. Kirk is as good as anybody in football at that. I don't know if Alex does that. No. I know that Kirk is great at that. What I'm hoping that Alex does is what he showed in the early part of the season is the deep throwing, taking those chances downfield.
But you're going to need a deep threat.
Hopefully that's Doxson. Doxson should develop into that.
Doxson, he's not a guy who gets much separation.
No,
but he's a guy that will go up and get the ball.
In the air, he should get it.
And he should win.
I feel like he's a guy who can go up and get it. He just seems to me to like very raw. Just watching it with an untrained eye, his route running just seems very raw to me.
And that's what some of the experts said, that he rounds off his routes.
Yeah, it just looks like he's learning.
But they are going to add threats. You know that.
One would think.
They're not going to go into the season with the exact.
What is like if you Google Sammy Watkins right now, what comes up? Do people talk about?
EB is size.
Sammy Watkins. Like what happens? Like what's the rumor mill on Sammy Watkins? Does it say who's looking for him?
I don't know. We're a month away from free agency, so.
I mean, the top 2 targets, obviously Jarvis Landry and Sammy Watkins. The thing about Landry, I mean, Landry's got all the catches and everything that you want. But he's like, 8 yards in a cloud of dust. I'm not really that.
He's a possession guy.
But
he's a volume
catches,
guy.
He's going to catch 100
right,
balls.
He's Garcon, which I like.
Well,
he's
younger.
Jamison Crowder.
He's a younger Garcon.
You're not one of those guys.
I like Watkins.
What's wrong
big
with having
playability.
2 guys that can catch, 75 balls?
I like Watkins 15.5 yards per catch. I like that. Stretch the field. That's
Do you like him missing lots of games with foot injuries?
Oh, he played 14. He started 14 last year.
Probably right, because you can go, look, the Patriots go with Amendola and Edelman, small guys. They're not downfield guys necessarily.
I'm not hating on them.
I want guys who are going to play and guys who can catch the ball.
Okay.
And who can get open.